welcome to The Sovereign Mom, starring me, Karen Keener, a mother with a mind of her own. And I just want to welcome everyone. Today is the first day that I'm going to be doing a kind of oil class. Something that I've had as a brainchild for a while. But I was having some issues, as I mentioned earlier this week, with for about over a month now. I've been having issues with my studio equipment just malfunctioning and glitching and causing me all kinds of headaches. And now everything's back to normal. Hooray. It's like everything kind of fell into place nicely this week, which leads to doing this, getting to come on and offer a little 30-minute oil class once a week, Fridays at noon. I hope you join me for your lunch break or whatever. My little, I can't call it tea. It's kind of a little muddy concoction that I have put together for myself. And you know what? I'll tell you what. I think since my postpartum stuff, we'll call it, since it was never clinically diagnosed as anything else, I would say this has probably been one of the most stressful times of my life. It just felt like I just didn't feel like myself this last couple of weeks. And I started yelling at my kids a lot. And that is something that is just totally not normal for me to be yelling all the time. And I just noticed I'm yelling like every day, all day. Whenever I talk to my kids, it's at like a lot of decibels. And I don't feel like myself. I'm not a yeller. And I had to stop myself and go, wait, what's happening here? And I realized is like maybe my cortisol is a little out of control. And I noticed I had given up dairy for a while on the suggestion of my functional medicine doctor. We looked over my charts and she's like, give up dairy for about 3 months and then you can gradually add like a little goat cheese or whatever. I had just gone right back to conventional dairy, the junk food, the pasteurized, homogenized bullshit that we eat that's terrible for it's just junk food you're just putting in the can. And what I found is it causes me to have some like hormonal stuff. It makes me gain weight because of the hormones and all the crap in it. I think I was eating mostly organic dairy for the most part, but when I eat out, of course, it's not organic. So you have to do what you can do. Anyway, so it with the hormone stuff is just extra angry, less sleep, starting having insomnia again. And I'm like, this is all dairy. I think that's a big part of it anyway. So I'm off dairy again for a while until I can get raw goat's milk and raw goat cheese and raw goat kefir. And in the meanwhile, just a little break. But I also needed to do something on the back end, like after detoxing and getting rid of the headaches, I had to go kind of like do some corrective stuff and some supplementation. And so what this is in here, I don't know if you can see it a little bit. It's pretty muddy. It looks like coffee. What it is I took cacao nibs and I grinded them up in a coffee grinder. And I got some ashwagandha root, which is on thesovereignmom.com. I put a link to it on there. So you can go to my website at Shop TSM and buy the ashwagandha root. And just to calm myself out, bring my nerves down. That was ashwagandha is one of the things that my functional medicine doctor recommended for my system just to keep me calm. Apparently, she was like, all of this stuff says stress, like your body's under a lot of stress. And I don't feel stressed. Like this was when I wasn't even feeling stressed out. She mentioned it. But I thought, okay, let me take a look at that. So ashwagandha really helps. So I for I turned off all new. I won't look at anything about 2 weeks to flatten Ukraine. I don't care about it. I don't want to know about it. Like, that's not what I'm going to focus on right now. In fact, I'm like consciously excluding any, if it's not a joke or something that makes me laugh and gives me like a release of positivity and like that sighing, calming feeling of joy and laughter. I'm not allowing any of it for a little while. So I'm calling the whole fiasco 2 weeks to flatten Ukraine because I feel like it's just the dumbest war ever. Um, the lies on both sides, the manipulations on both sides, the bullshit on every side of that is just nonsense. Anyway, but I want to focus on my health and getting calm and peaceful again, getting my cortisol levels balanced out. And part of that is this. So I put some cacao nibs in here, ground them up. And yeah, there is some caffeine, but there's also magnesium in chocolate. So for me, chocolate gives me, like real chocolate, just gives me this nice, smooth magnesium. It's a way my body just loves magnesium. And this is one way it accepts it. And so I put that in there and it just mellows me out with the ground ashwagandha root. And I just ground it up in our coffee grinder. I took the root pieces. They were already pretty small and I could just drink it as a tea, but I wanted to grind it up and really like make sure I'm getting the actual ashwagandha in my body. And then I put a little cinnamon and that helps with metabolism and stuff like that. And so cortisol and all of that being gut related and whatnot, I thought a little stimulant in there for the digestive system couldn't hurt. And I add just a teeny tiny, like maybe a quarter to a half teaspoon. I just eyeball it of blackstrap molasses, which has iron in it. So it's also healthy, lots of nutrients. So it's a nutrient dense little hot sludge. So I just pour all that stuff in my little, the little tea, what do you call those things? Diffuser. The little tea, I have a little thing that a little metal thing that's like a it's not like wire, but it has little holes in it, and then the thick, so you're not drinking so much of the thick stuff, only the small powdery particles get through. Anyway, I drink this all day and it's totally calming me down, making me more mellow. I haven't yelled at my kids since I started drinking it, so hooray. And I ordered it on Amazon. That's the link on my website. I'm an Amazon affiliate, so I do earn small, teeny, tiny, incy, wincy commissions from qualifying purchases, as the disclaimer says. But I put it on the Sovereign Mom website just so you guys would know where to find what I'm using. It's organic, natural, a great brand. I actually get some from a friend of mine too, from that same company. But in this case, it was overnight shipping was free on Amazon. So I went for it and it's been really helping. Which brings me to oils, right? Because that's why we're here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about holy basil, also known as Tulsi oil, and just the herb in general, because it is super helpful for adrenals and calming, getting cortisol levels back in balance and stuff. And so I've been taking a friend of mine that's really knowledgeable in oils, who should be teaching this class, but she can't be everywhere at once. And she's got a well she's digging right now, which is really awesome, on her property. It'll be her primary well, but it's a second one. She already had one. But anyway, long story. Let me go see if anybody's leaving any comments, because I don't want to be like ignoring you guys. That's not my intention here. But yeah, what's happening here? I don't see myself live on my, oh, there we go. There I am. Oh, we do have comments. Hello, lovely people. Okay, Aaron's watching, so he knows I'm live. I was worried about that. I got Tasha, good morning to you. At noon here, but yes. And the strainer, thank you, Aaron. This tea strainer is what I have. Okay. So I want to talk about Tulsi because it's great for adrenals, holy basil, and I want to also say from the beginning of this that while I use what I consider likely to be one of the purest brands of essential oils on the market, I personally am not going to be promoting any brands on this program. And if you want to know more about what I use specifically, you have to contact me personally outside of this forum. Because I just don't want to be selling the oil as much as I want to be sharing the resource and the learning about the different oils and what qualities they have. Anyway, but what I will do is mention things on my website that you can get a hold of. The oils are not on my website. So again, you have to contact me privately if you want to know about that. What is on the Sovereign Mom are on some of my resource books, which I'm going to share what resources I have. We're going to start with Modern Essentials Handbook today. Looking into holy basil, and I'm actually going to take these off for a second because these are my looking at the camera glasses, but my really tiny reading stuff is something else. Tulsi, they say, means matchless. So this first book is Modern Essential Handbooks. It's by Aroma Tools. This is the 12th edition, but the 13th edition is now available, and it is on my website, The Sovereign Mom. It is considered a sacred or holy plant in Hinduism. This plant is native to India and Southeast Asia. It has long been used in traditional Indian medicine to treat fever, to promote vitality, as a heart protectant, and it has been used more recently as an aid in stabilizing blood glucose levels in people with diabetes. So this is where that cortisol and blood sugar stuff comes in. I personally am taking 2 drops of Tulsi under my tongue, 2 to 3 drops of Tulsi under my tongue twice a day right now, to straighten out my adrenals. They didn't mention adrenal systems specifically here. They mentioned cardiovascular and respiratory systems and this helping with the skin. They mention that it can be used for insect bites and stings, for treating skin issues such as acne, ringworm, and other skin infections. Now, I would probably dilute it, add it to a carrier oil. For skin specifically, I might not use for the face and whatnot. I would not maybe use a lot of times the carrier oil that people use for diluting essential oils would be fractionated coconut oil. But in the case of skin stuff, I would go with a yarrow palm oil to dilute it. It just depends on if you're using it for something on your face, like blemishes and pimples and stuff, wrinkles and that kind of stuff. Anyway, they're also talking about how it helps with colds, respiratory infections, canker sores, repelling insects, and stress. Stress, that's what we're here for today. We're talking about stress, and we're talking about this in relationship to stress. Obviously, basil smells and tastes like basil. Even though holy basil or Tulsi, you don't often use in cooking. So that's not usually a cooking plant. It's a little more expensive when I bought it at the herbal shops from my apothecary to buy the herb, obviously, than your regular kitchen basil. And so anyway, it's beautiful aroma. It says the warm aroma of Tulsi can help soothe stress and promote awareness and connection. So that again is from Modern Essentials Handbook. It's available at the Sovereign Mom shop. You can purchase this book through there. And again, that's an affiliate link that I have on there that you can purchase that through there. Next, I have like a bunch of books laid out here. But let's go for an online resource now. Let's hop up here to the 10 health benefits of Tulsi. This is from Facty Health, or Facty. I think it's facty.com. I'll put a link to all of these resources in the video description when I'm no longer live, but just so that you can see. We have all the information about Tulsi up here, but let's start with stress and anxiety. In this fast-paced world, we are often subjected to stress and anxiety. Symptoms might include heart palpitations, which I've been having a lot of lately with all the stress going on. Emotional instability, tension, feeling of impending doom. Oh my gosh, like World War III. We're on the verge of when could this be useful? Irregular breathing, lack of focus and motivation, and phobias. Tulsi is known for its calming and relaxing effects. Its number one treatment here is for that. So that's really good to know. Although it won't put you to sleep, a study showed that people who took the extract of the whole Tulsi plant were 39% more effective at managing stress symptoms than those who took a placebo. And another study shows that taking 500 milligrams of Tulsi leaf extract twice a day with food reduces anxiety and depression if taken over a period of 2 months. So I'm just getting started. Yesterday was my first day of using the oil under my tongue. 2 drops twice a day. It's a little hot, but it wasn't too hot. If it's too hot for you, you can put it in a capsule and take it that way. Or you can add it to some oil, like a fractionated coconut. That's where you'd use your fractionated coconut oil. Since we're mainly focusing on the stress benefits, I'm going to pop over here to, hold on, to this article. Let me see if that popped up on the screen. Yes. Okay. So here we're looking at a Parkinsons Resource organization, parkinsonsresource.org. And they're looking at holy basil to beat stress and sleep better. So this is for my insomnia people. Hello, who else out there besides me suffers from insomnia? Oh, it's pretty bad on my end of things. Note from the pro, they say at the top, there are people affected by Parkinson's who cannot, or in many cases wish not, to take more pharmaceuticals for what seems to be an ancillary problem, like insomnia or sleeping through the night. We investigated some alternatives, and thanks to primary care medical professional, we came upon holy basil. We have heard from PWPs and caregivers that they are finding tremendous benefits through its use. So there you go. If you find yourself tossing and turning between 2 and 3 a.m., holy basil might be the answer to getting you through the night, they say. Holy basil is not some new trendy supplement made in a lab that's going to sedate you. It has been around and used for thousands of years, and there is plenty of research to support it. In India, holy basil is called the queen of herbs, as we learned earlier. It has been part of the traditional Hindu medicine for over 3,000 years. It's also referred to as Tulsi. Let me make sure you guys are seeing all of this on my main screen. Hold on one moment. Oh, you know what? There we go. Now you can see it better. All right. Sorry about that. They treasure holy basil in India for its many healing and spiritual properties, such as creating spiritual awareness, extending one's lifespan, and healing physical pain. However, it's best known for its calming properties and stress reduction, and that makes holy basil an effective sleep aid. Daily stress impacts your sleep. If you keep waking in the middle of the night, it can be due to stress hormone called cortisol. So cortisol regulates your sleep. It's like a hormone that helps. It can balance, or it can, if your cortisol levels are off, you can have terrible sleep. And so that was me. Up until last night, I got to bed before midnight. I think I got to bed at 11 something. like right after 11, which is much better for me because I'm like, I can stay up till 2 or 3 and I just don't get tired. I just get hungry. And that's a sign of cortisol imbalance. So, something to notice. Daily stress can impact your sleep. So, I mean, 2 weeks of flat in Ukraine can definitely fuck up your sleep. So, you want to notice that. I'm just gonna let the F word. This is going to be very educational, but also very me because I'm gonna talk like myself. That's what you're gonna get. Cortisol is the main stress hormone in your body. When you're under stress, your body releases cortisol from the adrenal glands, which sit on top of your kidneys. Cortisol fuels the body under stress, such as when running from a bear or nuclear war, impending nuclear war, by releasing glucose or sugar in the bloodstream is how it fuels your system. So, for those of us, like I also have a pre-diabetic condition, blood sugar issues. And so it's also going to, holy basil can actually lower elevated cortisol and even regulate blood sugar, it says here. Literature suggests that it increases physical and mental endurance, leaving you more resilient. Thus, it helps reduce stress and anxiety. When you reduce stress and anxiety, the cause of high cortisol, you will eventually normalize cortisol levels, which can go a long way towards normalizing your sleep cycle. So again, I've been drinking this tea. I started putting the Tulsi under my tongue yesterday, got to sleep at a totally normal time, and it wasn't hard for me to fall asleep at all, which that's one of the things I mean, can I go lay down and turn all the lights off and try to go to sleep at 10 or 11 o'clock every night? Sure, but I'll just be laying there wide awake, tossing and turning and keeping my husband awake for hours if I don't do something to get that cortisol under control, because it is crazy wackadoo right now. And again, it is a hormone. And I do think that like the dairy, especially the non-conventional dairy with all the hormones and bullshit that's in it, is probably creating some of those problems for me. All right. So they say, let's go a little further down here. Basil proves to be a great sleep aid. Holy basil comes dried for use as a tea. Here's what evidence says. In one randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, researchers tested the efficacy of holy basil extract against general stress. The amazing result of this study was that holy basil reduced forgetfulness, symptoms of sexual problems, which can be stress-related, and it relieved feelings of fatigue and sleep problems. Another study showed how holy basil significantly improved anxiety, stress, depression, and attention span in subjects suffering from general anxiety disorder. They noted the greatest improvements after 60 days of treatment. So this is something that I'm going to be doing for a couple of months, okay, to kind of get it really normal for me to go to sleep at the right time. Just develop some healthy habits here. Another study showed how holy basil significantly improved anxiety, stress, depression, and attention span in subjects suffering from general anxiety disorder. They noted on the greatest improvements after 60 days of treatment. Basil is not just for bedtime. Holy basil has also shown positive benefits to other systems of the body, such as the endocrine system, nervous, immune, cardiovascular, and digestive systems. But that's not all. It says because it lowers blood sugar levels, which in turn reduces cravings and stabilizes mood, it can facilitate weight loss. Ding, 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 ding. I'm sold. How many of you wanted to hear that? Something that helps you sleep, helps you lose weight, improves your cortisol levels so your stress and anxiety goes down. You're yelling at your kids less. This sounds wonderful. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm on the right medicine, the right plant medicine. So if insomnia is just one of your many health concerns you are facing, you may be able to use holy basil, it says, to treat your other problems too. 2 birds, 1 stone. There's lots of different types of holy basil. 5 different types, in fact. Many companies don't list the specific types of basil used in their products, and the varieties differ based on regions where they grow. And all varieties contain medicinal properties. You can read the rest of this article. I'm going to leave it up here, or I'm going to put it on my I'll put a link to this article in the description, and so you guys can read the whole articles. And that sounds great. All right, my next book. Bookity book. Essential Oils Workbook looks at basil. Did we have it? It talks more about the chemical things. I don't have this on my website yet, but I will. This is the Essential Oils and Aromatherapy Workbook. This is the 30th anniversary edition. This is a book I had in school, like when I first started massage school. So in the 90s, early 90s. Okay. And it's come a long way since then. And it talks about the origins of the use of essential oils in daily life and just how much it's grown, because, you know, the beginning of essential oils, like it's relatively new. But here they talk about basil. They say, but I will share for you. So this is by Marcel Lavabre. Essential Oils and Aromatherapy Workbook. I will have this up on my website by the end of today, and the link I will provide also to my website where you can purchase it. Again, as an affiliate link. It's saying the essential oil of basil. This is just talking about basil in general. It's from an herb, as we know. It's yellow. The fragrance is pleasant and anisey with a minty note. The basil plant is a mint plant. It's in the mint family, so it can also be helpful with digestion. Used in perfumery for its top green note, blends well with bergamot or geranium. I think it's is it bergamot? I'm not really sure. I should know that, right? There are several chemotypes of basil. There is even a cinnamon basil. The most commonly used is methicavical type. It's from Reunion and the Comoro Islands. And then as well as the eugenol type. The eugenol type is the one that we see in holy basil. It is one of the sacred plants of India. We knew that. It's dedicated to Vishnu. That I didn't know. Basil is extensively used in Ayurvedic medicine, which we learned. Neurovegetative organs and digestive systems, or neurovegetative properties and digestive systems, nervous tonic, antispasmodic, etc., etc. Okay. Indications are for mental fatigue, migraine, insomnia, depression, mental strain, dyspepsia, gastric spasms, intestinal infections, facilitates childbirthing and nursing. Interesting. So that's what we have in the Marcel Lavabre, who is considered the godfather of essential oils, from his book. But he gets it that if you are interested in how they extract essential oils, the different processes, the different understanding of all the different chemical compounds in oils, that is a really good one. Next, or last, we're going to look at Butterfly Miracles with Essential Oils, Empowering Yourself. Do you think that book's written by a woman? Like a housewife with nothing else to do? Like that just screams, I'm a bored housewife. Anyway, sorry to say. Am I amusing you guys? Hold on 1 second, because I'm trying to make these essential oils classes not entirely boring. Cod liver oil. He drinks it by the gallon. Trevor, ugh. I take it in capsules because it's pretty nasty, but good stuff. Nasty but necessary, right? That's the good fats for the brain. Holy basil, according to our Butterfly Miracles by, what's her name? Laree Westover. This book has like a lot of spiritual indications, like emotional, spiritual, mental aspects of holy basil. It says In Ayurvedic medicine, holy basil is considered a purifier of the mind, body, and spirit. Holy basil can be used for anxiety, hysteria, and nervous depression. It can act as a stress reducer without being a sedative. So that's the great thing. We're talking about taking Tulsi to help cortisol levels so that you get to sleep on time. It's not going to make you sleepy during the day. So this means that you're not going to be fatigued during the day, because like yesterday I took the Tulsi under my tongue twice a day during the, early in the day and then later in the afternoon, and then I go to sleep at the right time. So this is not making me exhausted. Some sources, so this is what they stress, that it's not a sedative. So it's very interesting, right? That you can have something that keeps your mind focused and alert, lowers stress, and helps you sleep when you need to. That's more important than just taking something that conks you out, right? Some sources indicate that holy basil, like other basils, will enhance clarity of thought and aid memory retention. Gosh, they have so much in here. Physical aspects. Holy basil has been reported to possess antibacterial and insecticidal properties. So this, I don't know if they mention this here. Oh, okay, it does. The scent of holy basil is said to deter insects when diffused. So you can put it in your diffuser. It smells nice. It'll help reduce your stress and keep the bugs away. Mosquitoes are a major cause of stress for me, so I would think that that would probably work doubly well than at the stress reduction thing by getting rid of the bugs as well. Let me take these off really quickly. It says apply diluted to the skin. That means you're going to add your fractionated coconut oil, or if you're doing it with your face, you probably want to use a yarrow palm oil as the carrier oil. It aids in circulation. Some sources indicate that holy basil can be useful in the relieving pain of peripheral neuropathy, arthritis, and other joint diseases. Holy basil is also used for the relief of headaches and sore throats. So, and like I said, when I took it under my tongue, it has a heat to it, and you definitely feel like this antiseptic type of properties that it has, antibacterial properties that it has, immune stimulant, and anti-inflammatory. You're thinking when you put that under your tongue, you're like, well, if I was coming down with anything, this is probably killing it. You could feel it under your tongue, a little hot, not too hot. Anyway, so that's the stuff I wanted to share today. This, again, is also available, the affiliate link on my website. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about what this oil can do for you today. I don't want to overwhelm you or overburden you, but if you are suffering from some stress, some tension, this oil could be a really helpful one for you and super easy to take. Like I said, 2 drops under your tongue twice a day, very easy to use, simple, easy indications, and that's how I'm taking it. And that might be something that helps you as well. Thank you guys all for showing up and watching and learning about oils with me. And again, I'd like to do this once a week. Just as we're continuing to move forward in this post COVID world with all this weird stuff going on outside and in just everywhere, just international crazy stuff. It's good to have some tools, and I think essential oils are a big part of that for me. And so I wanted to share my love of these tools with you, and my books that I have and whatever resources I find online that help me to get my life under control when all the rest of the world seems crazy. And so I hope this has been a benefit for you today, and that it continues to be a benefit for you. I also want to say that if you go to thesovereignmom.com, You can go to the shop TSM and find all the books, and the ashwagandha herb that I mentioned earlier will be up there as well on that shop. But I also have a really fun store. If you look at the tabs on thesovereignmom.com, there's one that says Test Plus Apparel, and I have a bunch of really fun t-shirts designs that I have up there that you guys can check out, which are just super awesome. And last, I want to share with you to check out my Substack, which is thesovereignmom.com or thesovereignmom.substack.com. And there you can find, today I will be putting my last segment of the Say Yes to Boundaries course outline. So the outline script for my Say Yes to Boundaries course is up. It's absolutely free. You can take it and learn how to develop better boundaries that will help you reduce stress as well in your life. And so hopefully you all take advantage of that resource while it is free on my website and enjoy it. And give me some feedback at any time with any of this stuff. If you have any feedback, any notes, any comments, any arguments, disagreements, I welcome it all. So please feel free to share this resource as well with your friends. I love you. And like I said, if you want to know about specific oils, you're going to have to directly reach out to me through a direct message or a phone call. But if you want to like order oils or something like that, but I don't do that on my website, and I'm not going to do that here. I'm not trying to sell oils. I'm just telling you how much they can benefit you in your life. So enjoy this free resource. Thank you very much for watching, and have a happy Freedom Friday and a wonderful weekend. Goodbye for now.